we don't want to lose momentum as leaders. And so we start to tell ourselves that this constant busyness is a required personality trait. It's just a price for, the price to play.
Yep.
To be successful. But that's not true. We know that. EntreLeadership, we teach that success is found when you focus on being effective with your time, like you mentioned, and not letting busyness just take over your calendar. So how has that played out in your life? You talked about your story of, scaling this thing to 100,000 and then you scaled it to 1 million because you slowed down. Is that the key, is to kind of slow down?
Yeah. What's interesting, George, is that there's so many times in my life where there's this very clear defined before and after. It's like when you meet someone special or you have this opportunity or you take a chance or you make a decision. And I feel like there are massive before and afters in my life every time I've been in pursuit of claiming back my time and recognizing its value. And what I mean by that is a lot of times leaders, we're the ones required to get the thing going, right? Like you start a business on a card table in a living room, or you start a business with just a camera and you're figuring it out as you go. And you're the one pushing everything forward. You're playing all the roles, you're doing all of the things. And there comes a time where you are trading your time for money. I think it's a necessary requirement for a lot of people to get an idea off the ground. But there's a tipping point where all of a sudden you will pay your money to get back time, whether it's hiring help, getting Uber Eats, whatever that looks like. There comes a tipping point where you're like, no, it is more worthy for me to spend my time in any other way, whether it's with my family or in the business, than to be earning. And for me, every time I've been in pursuit of claiming back my time, it's been this invitation for me to actually get quiet with myself and say, where do I feel like I need to go? What is no longer serving me? What doesn't feel good? Where do I feel called to move into? And those are the spaces where I've had my best ideas. They're the spaces where my businesses have been born. They're the spaces where I have become a human outside of a worker. And so even the premise of my book, How Are You Really, is this notion of getting past the how are you, good, busy, everything, to how am I really? And it's not just a question we ask one another, but a question we need to ask ourselves. And I feel like we are subscribing to this busyness as a way to avoid asking that question. And we're avoiding the stillness that is required to hear the answer and then do something about it.
Yeah, this comes back to that time management that you're talking about. And, we at Entre, we teach, top priority. We call that your A1 for the day, of getting to that. What's the most important real thing that's going to serve me?
Yep.
In our time management course, we cover that. And it makes it clear what to say no to. And so sometimes the hardest part is not figuring out what to say no to. It's learning how to say no, where you don't come across as a jerk. And so have you found any surefire ways to set those boundaries up without looking like, no, I'm not going to do that?
Yes.
That's a hard thing to do for a leader.
It is. And especially a Midwest woman who's yes, I want to do everything for everyone. So I'm going to give you and your listeners a template. And I hope that you take this template and you use it in your life. So I think often about boundaries, and I have a 3-year-old. We go bowling, and when they put the bumpers up so that the ball stays going down. I need bumpers in my life or I will go in the gutter. And boundaries are my bumpers to keep me aligned, to keep me moving in the right direction without falling off the course.
Love that analogy.
So we love bumper bowling because we feel really good at it. But I have had to learn how to put up bumpers in my life so that I can protect my best yeses. And I created this template. I have it on my phone. I have it in my email. I even use it in real life. And that's why I can recite it to you today, because it has changed my entire life. It has changed everything. So when somebody gives me an opportunity or an invitation, first, never answer in person. I always say, let me circle back. Let me look at my calendar, because our initial reaction when we're with someone or when we're in the spirit, we're like, yes, of course. And then there's nothing worse than going back or feeling overcommitted. So I always just say, let me circle back. Let me check my schedule and I'll get back to you. The template is this. Hey, George, thank you so much for this incredible opportunity. I feel so valued that you thought of me with this. I'm going to decline, and I want you to know that me saying no has nothing to do with you or your idea or your event. I'm saying no because in this season of my life, any yeses that I say take me away from living out my values, which is being at home with my kids. I want you to know that I'll be cheering you on every step of the way, and I am absolutely certain our paths will cross in the future. I wish you nothing but the best. Sincerely, Jenna. And what I think is key here is that when we say no, a lot of times people like George, you could be like, oh, she doesn't like me, or this is a terrible idea, or this is the worst opportunity ever. What was I possibly thinking? But when we say this has nothing to do with you and everything to do with me, it's like the gentle breakup. I mean, I haven't been on the dating scene in like 15 years, so I don't know how people break up these days. I'm guessing it's like a text message.
I think it's ghosting now is the new thing.
It's true.
You just don't say anything.
So this is a way to say like, thank you. And my no has nothing to do with you and everything to do with me. And what I found is that when I clearly state what my values are, it's an invitation for the person who sent that to also check in with themselves and say, am I living into my values? Am I living into the things that I say matter to me? Or am I overextending myself or stretching myself? It's been a beautiful tool. And the responses that I get are amazing. And so that's been really, really helpful for me in terms of boundaries.
That's incredible. Well, not everyone is as pleasant as you are. And so, Dave Ramsey using that same script, it may not sound the same. I think Dave might just
I could tailor it to him. I'm a pro copywriter.
I believe that. And as a people pleaser, that's really hard for me to do, is to say no. I'm like you. I go, oh, that sounds amazing. Absolutely. Yes. And then I'm overwhelmed. I'm resentful. And I think a lot of leaders experience this cycle where they go, why did I say yes to that? Now it's another thing on the plate. So it's so important to do that in a tactful way.
Yes. Amen.